Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pasco eSchool. This is our second shootout for Canvas. Today we're going to be looking at features of Canvas that they've released this year, some of our favorites. We're going to do a little round robin. I've got an awesome host of folks joining me. And I got the K-12 Panda straight from Utah. He made it all the way to Florida. And I've got the Ninja right here, our Pasco eSchool Ninja. So let me get to introductions. And got to make a little pause button there, sorry. And we're going to start off with introductions. So we are, first on far left is Macy Devaney. Let me switch the camera over to her. She is our super guru of course building design, is an amazing person. If you ever get the chance to meet her, I highly recommend it. This is an amazing wealth of knowledge. Next to her is Michelle Lackey. Say hi, Michelle. Michelle is the guru of everything. There is nothing that this lady cannot do and is not amazing at, and we all know it, and we all just aspire to be as amazing as Michelle. Paula Sanchez is Rookie of the Year. Nobody comes off the bench, gets on the team like Paula. PD guru, Adobe Connect, EDU Game Cloud rollout. Just an amazing new member of our team. We're super glad to have her. Sean Walker. He is the king of K through 6. Nobody knows more about elementary course building and design than our own Mr. Walker. So I may have overbuilt this just a little bit, but that's exactly how I feel about these folks. They're absolutely, just a little bit, they're absolutely amazing, and we're super glad to have them here today. So we're going to get started. We're going to do a little round robin. The first thing we need you guys to do, though, that if you're watching us live and if you're tweeting things out, is I'm going to be keeping score. We're going to give points out based on some tweets, what you guys like, don't like. And so I got TweetDeck open. I'm keeping up with that. And here we go with Tweet Your Vote. eSchool Live. Capital S, capital second L. eSchool Live. So if you folks can tweet those things out. Tweet while it's happening, live, just anytime something strikes you as amazing, just let us know about it. Hit us up with that hashtag, and we'll get started. So Paula is going to be first. Rookies go first, right? That's awesome. And we're going to kick it off. Give us your favorite features, Paula. Let us hear what you got to say.
Okay, Danny, thank you for a great introduction. And so I have two great features to share with our audience today. The first one is the link validator or link checker, and I want to go ahead and share my screen really quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. And so basically with this one you can use it to verify that your external links in the course are still valid. And so what we want to do to get to the setting is within your course, go to the settings menu, and you'll see where you can find a button to validate links in content. And what I love about this feature is the fact that you can see what links have been deleted, what links have been are actually linked to another course and need to be fixed, and also it'll check your links in content that's published and content that's unpublished in your course. So it really does a thorough check of the links that are in your course. So the next one that I wanted to share today, it's actually the sub-account global announcements. And what I like about this one is now we have the ability to create sub-account global announcements and let those users that are enrolled in those sub-accounts see those announcements instead of like what we do with forcing slides. So some great features that we can certainly start enjoying. So for our audience, we really want to make sure that they know those. Okay. Thank you, Danny.
Thanks, Paula. We got our first question, and it is just to verify, can we still use that option if our course is not open to the public, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's a great question. Yes. So we could do that even if our course is not published. Yes.
Thanks, Paula. That was great. And next up on our list is the king of elementary, Sean Walker.
All right. Thank you, Danny, for the introduction. I'll try to live up to that name the best I can. So, one of the things that I've been playing around with lately, you guys might already have some experience about. You might have played with a little, and that's the design tools in Canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as well. And for us at Pasco eSchool, we've seen this a little bit in our Adobe Connect trajectories here that Danny and Paula put together, where we have things like this accordion where you can click and you are seeing different information kind of organized in that way. I've used it myself in my courses to create different headers like this to kind of be more engaging and eye-catching for the students. And there's just a lot of different features in the design tools that you could use. So here's another example of the accordions. So what that looks like is if you're on a page or an assignment or a discussion, you will see once you're in there and editing, you'll have your launch design tools, that blue button up there on the top right-hand corner of your screen. And when you click on that, it's going to give you a plethora of different editing options that helps you with that HTML stuff, which can get, I don't know about you guys, but it can make me kind of dizzy sometimes. So one of the things that I've used is themes at the top. That's when showing those different headers at the top. You have all these different options that kind of give your page a theme and a layout. That looks really cool. And then the accordion tabs a little bit further down here, you can type in different section titles, like title, and add them in there, and it's going to add those accordion tabs onto your page. So when users click them, it'll open up what's underneath it and kind of organize your content in that way. So I would encourage you guys to all go and play around with these design tools. There's some really neat stuff in there. I'm only kind of scratching the surface. So enjoy it, and I hope that shows off something cool.
Thanks, Sean. That was awesome. It's a lot of good stuff in there to play around with and really change your courses up. That's great. We have a couple of folks tweeting in, and they're our own folks. So we're going to have to give out some points because Michelle Lackey started the tweet right as we started, but then she got one-upped by Paula. The rookie jumps off the bench. She was tweeting while she was talking. That is the social media queen right there. So we're going to give Paula 10 points on that one. So I think that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So, all right, let's move on to Macy, the Alaskan Queen, who is going to wow us with some of her favorite features.
Thanks, Danny. So I'm going to share my screen also. Maybe not as exciting as Sean's amazing design tools, but still trying to make your lives a little bit easier. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the gradebook features. So when you go into your grades, sometimes we have students who leave us and come back, or maybe we've already submitted a grade for a student and we want to see, or they want to see their grade afterward. In your gradebook, on the little gear here, you'll see show concluded enrollments and show inactive enrollments. Selecting those will actually bring those kiddos who have completed your course back to the gradebook.
Thank all of our staff and our teachers.
The other option that makes this so good is that originally we've always had this feature, but this is going to stick on May 14th. So it used to be every time you go to the gradebook, you'd have to click that show concluded again. From May 14th on, if you click that show concluded, it's actually going to stick. So you're going to see those concluded kiddos in the gradebook. The other thing I want to show that makes life a little bit easier will actually be when you go in as a student into a course, your students have some fun new sorting options. So if I go back into grades as a student this time, usually when they go in, assignments are sorted by due date. And of course, in our setting, we may not always use the due date. We now have the option, or they now have the option, to sort by module. So if you want to talk to them about a specific grade or a specific group of assignments they're working on, it'll put everything in a really nice order for them based on the modules in the course. And they can see their grades that way. So again, just some fun new features to share.
Thanks, Macy. Lots of cool stuff there, you know, on the admin side, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that maybe isn't as glitzy and fun as accordions, but when it comes to how many clicks a day you got to do things, that's a time saver for sure. It's very, very helpful. All right, let's get a little Twitter update. Looks like accordions are really tearing it up right now. We have an self-promotion from Sean himself. He says how great he did it. So I'm all good with the self-promotion. I think that's the sign of confidence. So Sean went ahead and gave himself 10 points, and then to top that, he even got his wife to tweet out. So he is totally rocking it out. And then administration. Boom. Sean gets more points from the boss. So right now we got Sean with 30 points and Paula's got 10 points. So let's keep those tweets rolling in, and we're going to continue on our exciting journey on features here. And up next is Michelle Lackey. Go ahead, Michelle.
Thanks, Danny. Thanks for the awesome introduction. And so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm chopping, you guys are chopping up for me, so I'm hoping that my feed is coming through strong. But I wanted to let you know today about something that's coming up to be turned on May 23rd, so coming up soon in a couple of weeks. We are going to be turning on the new Canvas user interface. So what that means is that we're going to have a little bit of a different look to Canvas. It's sort of like when you're on Gmail or Facebook or one of your favorite tools, and all of a sudden they move what the message box looks like, or they move your list of friends to a different part of the screen. It's sort of like that. It's just going to have a same functionality, but a little bit of a different look. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tour of that look so that you could know what's coming, because that's one of my favorite new features. So let me share my screen with you. Okay, so here is my screen, and as you can see, this is the Canvas dashboard, and it looks quite a bit different than what you're used to. You are used to seeing a very a screen that's very much a list of items, and now you can see it's a super colorful set of course cards, and these course cards represent the things that you used to see in your courses list. The other main change is that the navigation has moved over here to the left-hand side rather than being along the top. And so now all of your navigation is going to be over here on the left, and the things that used to drop down from the top now push out from the side. So instead of having my courses menu up here at the top, I have it over here, and I can click it, and all my courses are listed here. And then if I want to see more courses that aren't my favorites, I can just click on that All Courses button, and that will bring me to my same list of courses that I have in the other view that we're used to seeing. And just like before, I can star the courses that I want to appear as course cards on my home page. Now, one other really super neat feature about these course cards is that sometimes this name that comes in from our student information system is really long and doesn't really have a lot of meaning to maybe me as a teacher or as a student. So now what teachers and students will be able to do is click on this little edit button, and they can give their course a nickname. Now that nickname doesn't apply to anyone else. If you're a teacher, it doesn't change the name for the students. It only changes the name for that individual user. So I could find the course that maybe is something that I use all the time, and I can create a nickname for it. So I'm going to call this one George. You would probably call it something that made sense to you, but I'm just throwing out a name. And then I can also pick a color. Let's say I want to label all my professional learning courses green, and all my courses that I teach blue, and all the courses that are master courses that I'm developing purple. You can use any color scheming system that you want. And again, that will apply to you, but not to other users. You'll also notice that on the course card, you get little icons down here that are indicators of things you need to do in those courses. So this will give you a number indicator if you have announcements. This will give you a number indicator if you have assignments due as a student, and this will give you a number indicator if you need to check your discussions and files, new files that are appeared there as well. So it sort of is a more graphical way to look at the dashboard, and it also allows you to, to do some customization, and it also matches up to the way the app looks. One more thing I just want to show you is the navigation and then the inside of the course. And so notice the navigation, now the logout button, instead of being along the top, the logout button is going to be here under your account button. All your profile settings and things that again used to be over here on the top are now in under your account settings. The help button, instead of being over here, is down here in the corner, and your inbox, your Canvas inbox, instead of being in the corner, is now over here as well. So let me pop over to a course, and let me just show you that once you're inside the course, it actually looks pretty much the same. You still have the course content in the middle, you still have the navigation over here, and you still have the extra stuff over here on the right. The other major difference is you can now toggle this menu over here on and off to give yourself more reading space. So I can click that little button, the little series of lines, and that will toggle my course menu on and off, so I can just spread out my content a little bit more, which is handy when you have a lot of content on a page. Other than that, it's a pretty similar experience for people, and you know, most of the screens you go to will look pretty much the same, and in fact some will be a little bit better because now you know, on the grade screen we do have the ability to turn the menu on, and we don't have that in the regular user interface. So there's a lot of just nice little ways that things look different and allow for more customizations that I'm really excited about being able to turn on the 23rd. Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Michelle. So as usual, Michelle goes into the future, picks out things that aren't even known to some of those mere mortals on the earth, and shows them off in amazing detail fashion. We got a question for you, Michelle. Mandy Walker wants to know, after kids rename a course on the course card, will the original course name still show on the card for the student?
So, the student, if the teacher renames the course card, it only renames it for the teacher. It doesn't change it for the students. So it's a personal selection on a user-by-user basis. If the student changes the name of the course, it will stick for the student until they delete out the custom name or until they change it to something else. So, you know, you notice that when I named my course George, that name becomes the name of the course for me, my user. For students, I think the most useful use of this will be sometimes from our SIS system. They'll get a really long name, and sometimes the course names will look similar, so it's hard, they get cut off, and it's hard to tell them apart. So I can see that being a good use for it. I can also see more of a use being for teachers. Sometimes you have professional learning courses and courses that you're teaching, so you can really use the renaming to help you identify the differences in those courses, or give it a name that makes more sense to you. I don't know if that answered your question, Mandy, but hopefully it did.
That definitely answered her question somewhere in there, and if not, Mandy knows how to get a hold of you, so thank you, Mandy, for that question. Amy Kelly, thanks for tweeting us up and enjoying the session today, and of course the bell rings right in the middle of me talking, because no matter what I do live, there's always a bell ringing in the background. I'm just going to talk right through it. We're done. End of round one. So Michelle, Michelle's gonna have to stack up some points on that one. We're definitely gonna have to throw 100 points at Michelle, but I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, Michelle. I love you, but I'm gonna have to take 50 off for going over. It's not The Price is Right, so you still get some of your points, but we do have to take 50 away for going over. So we're gonna do that. So that takes Michelle to 105 points. I'm going to give Macy, because from the admin side, I liked her feature the best, so as the host, I get to throw some points out there. So I'm throwing 50 points at Macy for saving me a lot of keystrokes. And so right now, we got the rookie, who we started off with, the 10 points, so she's going to get to go up next. So she's battling it right now. She's thinking up some amazing things to tell us. We got Sean with 30, we got Macy with 50, and we got Michelle at 105. So we can't let Michelle be the back-to-back shootout winner. So we have to challenge you guys. We're getting ready for round two. And here we go. Let's get this done. Paula, what do you got for round two?
All right. Well, I'm going to share a feature that I know is going to make a lot of teachers very happy. So I think I'm going to get some points here. So let me go ahead and share my screen again. And this feature that I'm going to share is actually being able to look at a student feedback document review. So let me share here so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I hope you can all see that. But so basically, this is your speed grader in the Crocodoc. So now, as a teacher, you can not only see when your students submitted the assignment, when it was graded. Now we can see when our students actually view the document. And I feel like this is a great way to monitor those student interactions and seeing when they're looking at our feedback. And I think this is going to be very helpful for some of our teachers. For me particularly, it does help me see, okay, when my students are looking at the annotations or feedback that I give to them. So great feature, and I told you, make sure you give me some points for this one. I know teachers are going to love it. All right, Danny. That was
I love it. I love it, sucking up to the teachers for points. Good job. I like it. No self-promoting this one. It's just all about the teachers. Student interactions. Can't get better than that, right? Amy Kelly, love the new features regarding student feedback. We want to know when the students saw that stuff. We want to be able to keep track of those engagements and what's happening. So that is an awesome, awesome feature. All right, next up on our list is the king himself, elementary man, Sean.
All right, so my next feature might not save teachers time, but it involves iPads, which everybody likes, and cute pandas, so hopefully that gives me some points in there, so we'll have to see. What I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys the app side of things, because in elementary land, all of our students have iPads that they use when they're accessing our courses. So to jump on that, I'm going to do a screen share again and share my iPad, so hopefully you guys can see it here. And what's cool is a lot of the changes that Michelle was talking about with the new UI, they're already kind of in the app, so they're going to look very similar no matter where they're accessing their courses at. So as you can see, they have the tiles here of all their courses that they can go in and customize as well. You have that pencil icon in a corner, and if a student clicks on that, and I clicked on the wrong thing, but they can choose the color. They can't rename it here, but they can definitely choose a color, so you can still customize your courses in there. You have the same icons as far as announcements and assignments, and things will show up in there, which is a really nice feature to have. Up in the top corner of the app as well, they have this little A+, and what this does, it will show you a percentage for your courses as far as grade, I believe. So here's my PLC course that I'm at a 97 at, so you can see those grades. Students can get kind of a snapshot of that as well in there, which is kind of cool.
Sean should get points
yes.
for having a 97 in the PLC course.
Do what I can. I do what I can. Thank you, Michelle. So to move to the cute panda part of it, so when students go to, or anybody goes to their profile and click on their icon, they can build their own avatar right in the app, which is kind of cool. So you get this selection of all these different cute pandas, and you can swap the heads and the shirts and stuff like that. So is it a time-saving feature? No, but man, oh man, you got really cool-looking pandas, so you can't really beat that. So there's that part of it. So this is a cool customizable experience that students get here. You can also get push notifications from here, so when you get things graded or different things like that, you can set that up in the app as well. And landing pages, so you can pick what page when you open the app, you can pick what it opens up to in here as well. So more customization features in there. So I think that covers some of the main points on there, but definitely check out the app. It's a really cool thing to use. Our students enjoy using it for the most part every day. So thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sean. Let's get back to Paula's points now. The Twitter has followed in. Paula, we give her 100 points, another 20 points. For student engagement, we threw in another 100. So she is at 230 points, which is the winner overall. And we're moving into Sean territory. Sean looking strong. Twitter is blowing up on the 97% nerd points for the PLC work that he's been doing. I'm going to give Amy Kelly 20 points just for posting my picture on Twitter with a panda. So she's not even in the race. All of a sudden, bam, she gets 20 points. And panda points. Like Pam Willoughby points out that the panda points, we're gonna coin that term. We got panda points happening today. So lots of excitement. We're going to get back to Sean's points in just a minute. While we're waiting to get back to Sean's, we're going to jump over to Macy.
All right, so I have an exciting feature for teachers and course builders, so hopefully everyone's excited. So building a lot of courses, you end up using a lot of resources. So let's see if I can share my screen here and go into the Canvas Commons. Hopefully you guys have seen the Canvas Commons before. Lots of free resources. You can import things right from your course and pull things right into your courses, which makes it wonderful. Originally, you could always search by a topic name. So let's see. Maybe I want something on Shakespeare. Maybe I should learn how to spell Shakespeare. And I'll find a bunch of resources. But realistically, when we're building courses, we don't just look for a general resource on something. We usually want something tied to standards. And exciting news, Canvas Commons actually allows you to tie your resources to standards. So maybe instead of searching for Shakespeare, I am going to type in and look for a resource solely based on a standard. So this one happens to be a language arts standard, and you can see right by that little target sign there that it's already tied to a standard, and this person guarantees that this one ties right in. So again, another feature that just makes it quick and easy to find things, and just so you guys can see it in case you haven't, you can import right into your course right to here. So that's my exciting feature.
Thanks, Macy. More good stuff, more behind the scenes, little things that those of us that use it every day might not have noticed, might got past us. That little icon on those standard features, or looking for a standard, good stuff. So we're gonna show Macy some love on that one for 150. The bumps are up to 200, and see what the Twitterverse gives us on that. I'm gonna hold off on Sean because his I got to get a calculator because it's just going nuts over here. So I got the running total. I only had a pencil when I started. I got to find a calculator. So while that's happening, we're going to go switch over to Michelle and get some more awesomeness from Miss Lackey.
So Danny, you know you can count on me to kill some time. That's never a problem. So I'll see what I can do for you here.
Awesome, thank you.
While you get the calculator. So my feature is not nearly as exciting as cute pandas, I can tell you. But I think people will be excited about it because I know it's super related to what our eSchool teachers have struggled with a little bit in terms of course flow when we don't have due dates, right? So we have rolling enrollments and we can't set due dates on a lot of things, but we still want to have students be able to keep track of where they're at in their course and create a module flow that makes sense for people. And if you don't sometimes have, you know, it can release on this date or that date, then you lose some of that control. But a feature that came out a while back that we really never got a chance to share or utilize is one of my favorite things that's in Canvas right now. So I want to show that to you real fast. So I'm just going to share my screen. So I'm going to pop over to this just fake course that I have. So this is just a fake course that I have. I'm just going to open the modules in my fake course. It doesn't really have a whole lot of flow to it. You can see I've got a couple of little fakey modules here. But what I want to show you is that when I'm building out my modules, so I'll just go to the top here to my regular old module area, and I'm going to add an assignment. So I'm just going to take one of the assignments I already have just for giggles. And I don't even know what that assignment is, but I'm just going to add it. And what I can do now, I've got that assignment 1 at the bottom that I just added, is in my modules, I can go to edit the module. It's just the gear for the module. And then when I add requirements, which I know you guys are familiar with, you're used to adding requirements and then they either have to view it or contribute to it, but there's a new one. There's a new choice, and that new choice is marked as done. And so what that does for us is if I go, let's see, my assignment 1 was the one I added. So the student on a page or on a discussion or anything if you as the teacher say that in order to progress they have to mark it as done, then you can see here in the modules themselves, it will tell the student, hey, listen, you have to mark this done in order to progress or be complete. But as the student, let me give you the student view so you can see what the student gets to see. And this is published, so I'm going to flip over to my settings and flip to student view, which is another nice tool over here that we can take advantage of. It's going to give me a sample of what the student sees, and I'm just going to flip to my modules. And you can see right here, assignment 1, I have to mark it as done. So if I go into that assignment, see how up here at the top, it has a button, mark is done. So the kid can come back to it, come back and forth, and then when they are finally done, then they can say, okay, now I'm done with it. And now it turns green and it shows it as done. And when I go back to my modules as the student, now that's going to show that I have completed it. So if you put a mark is done on every single one of your module items, they can easily keep track of where they left off because they'll be able to see the check marks of the things that they have completed. So that is the mark is done feature, and I think it's awesome, particularly in our world of rolling enrollments and difficulty with dates. So I hope you guys can use it.
Thanks, Michelle. That was great. Michelle's getting some tweets, and we even got some tweets back from Macy. People loving the Commons. Jennifer Hart, showing some love for Jennifer Hart. Commons isn't common, go Macy. So, former E-Team member and beloved missed E-Team member for sure. Amy Kelly is loving the new assignments and the requirements. Marking is done. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Mandy Walker's loving it as well. The mark is done, mark is done, mark is done. It's on fire right now. I think we're taking over the Twitterverse. So points are getting close. I think we got a three-way tie right now. I'm not going to tell you for which place. And then, but we've got some questions. So we're going to take this on a little bit longer, and we're going to answer some questions. I'm going to open it up to the pundits to jump in and grab some last-minute points to see if they can pull out a win on this. So I'm going to switch over to that. Sherry Gregory has shot us a. You know, she's not big on the Twitter, but she really likes the features and likes how the show's going. So she gave us a question there. Our next question is from Christy Duffy, and here we go. I'm going to read it out. You guys can grab it. Can we see if students have viewed feedback if it's not in the Croc Doc, but perhaps they submitted a recording, and we want to know if they read our feedback? Go. Dun, 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 dun.
Not yet. Not yet. I think as of right now, only the Crocodoc is able to determine the timestamp when the student views it, but that is a super awesome idea, and we can definitely get back to you on if there's a feature request that already exists for that, or if there's any awesome instructor employees watching out there and you want to tweet us that feature request. Or if there's not one, we could definitely make one. But as far as I know right now, it's only for the Crocodoc ones, but definitely a great idea for it to be on video, audio recordings as well.
Awesome question, Christy Duffy. So we're going to give Christy Duffy 10 points for joining us today and asking the stumper question that the panel was, like, oh, I don't want to give any negative. I just want to come up with solutions. This isn't good. But Michelle, we're going to give Michelle some points on that one for taking the hit and answering that question. So thanks, Christy. Our next question is, sorry I might have missed it while I was reading Sherry's comment. Is that a new feature, or this is back to Paola's scenario? So is that a new feature coming, or is it something we have enabled right now? Ms. McDougall wants to know.
You're talking about the being able to view the Crocodoc? Yeah, it's there. It's there right now. You can. It's new, but you can see if it's available right now, basically.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Paula. Great question from Ms. McDougall. We've got one more coming up. We're going to give Paula a few points for grabbing that one. And
So can I add to Paula's comment?
Oh no, we're going for bonus. Go to. Self-promoting bonus points. This show is off the rails. We're getting buzzers next year.
I'll be buzzed out.
Michelle.
No, I was going to add that if Miss McDougall is not seeing a date, that's reflective that the student did not read the feedback. So,
yes.
So if you're wondering why you don't see a date, it's probably because the student, as wonderful as they may be, did not read the Crocodoc feedback. So.
All right.
Michelle.
Michelle jumped in, grabbed a couple of extra points there. I love it. That is the competitive spirit that we all love in Michelle. Last question, unless something pops up on Twitter while we're reading this one. So back to Ms. McDougall again, another great question. So when we share to Commons, should we be posting the standards to them? Where should that go? I see Macy twitching. She's looking to grab the mic. I don't know.
So good question, Jeannie. It is not required that you tie the standard to it, but it's an option to tie the standard to it. And I would say if you are already tied standards to that lesson, absolutely add it in there because it's a great feature and you can select that you've tied it to the standard right in there, which makes it easy to search right by that standard, which is what I showed too. So yes, absolutely. If you already know your standards and that's the best way to search for things, I would say absolutely include it. And that's a feature that's already there.
Thank you so much for that answer, Macy. So that concludes our questions. Ms. McDougall's giving Amy a shout out for grabbing 20 points for not even being on the panel. You can't beat that. So I've tabulated results. I had to get out my iPhone with the giant screen. I had to do some calculating. We had the bonus round. We had Michelle grabbing extra points at the last second because there's one thing about a champion. You don't go down easy. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. So, but we have an upset this year, folks. Sean Walker wins this with Panda points, with posting an iPad in the middle. Let me get Sean up here on the screen. He posted an iPad. He's showing an iPad. He's showing other screens. He's got awesome backgrounds. He's got Panda points. He's got the cutest presentation going. By far was the Twitter fan of everybody. So, Sean, do you want to say a few words to your loving crowd and your adoring fans on your win? It's your first shootout number 2 for Pasco eSchool.
Well, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me on Twitter. I'd like to thank all my nerd friends for helping me out and getting me on here, and to the Academy and all of that stuff. So thank you guys very much.
All right, that was our winner, Sean Walker. We're going to pop back over to Paula for a last parting word from Paula. Great job. Everybody tied for second to Sean. There was a straight across the board amazing effort from everyone. Paula, last words?
Last words, just thank you to our audience for participating, or to our peeps for tweeting and for the points. Thank you. This was fun. Thank you, Danny, for doing this. Thanks.
We're back.
We're back.
That was like a little internet glitch right in the middle of the rounding out the end here. We're still live, so I think we keep going. I probably missed 10 seconds of awesomeness there. Macy, last words.
Yeah, thank you, Danny, for hosting. Thank you all for watching. And guys, please, if you're watching, reach out to us if you have questions, if you need help with anything. That's what we're here for, to help out our Pasco peeps. So let us know if you guys have any further questions, and we'll meet with you all soon.
Thanks, Macy. Our returning champion now dethroned miraculously. I didn't think I'd ever see it happen. I'm kind of happy about it. I have to say, she's so amazing that it's just amazing to see somebody knock her off the throne. But last words, Michelle Ladke, go.
Today was fun, and Danny, you were an amazing host, and I want to just say thanks to everyone who joined us on Twitter. And I want to add that if you enjoyed today, we're going to be having 3 more sessions in May. Today we did a fun little hangout on air, but our next 3 sessions are going to be in our Adobe Connect learning room, and we're going to do some really cool interactive things where I think you can learn even more about more features and get some more hands-on practice. So I just wanted to put a plug in for those 3 sessions coming up the other Thursdays in May. So stay tuned for more information about that.
Awesome. Thanks to all of you for making this a very enjoyable 30-35 minutes. Thanks to all the Twitter folks for giving me things to talk about, because I was very concerned that I would be up here twiddling my thumbs and not knowing what I could say that I thought was funny. Sometimes I might think it's funny, not everybody else. But I've been your host, Danny Sesker, Learning Design Coach at Pasco eSchool. Pasco eSchool is a public K-12 school, for those of you who don't know, in Pasco County, Florida. So thank you so much for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. Second shootout. Really enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoyed it too. Have a great day. Good night, everybody.